It was 7:45 a.m. in the busy streets of the city. Emma Carter, 25 years old, rushed out of her apartment, clutching a folder full of certificates. This wasn't just any day. It was the day of her dream job interview. But she had one big problem. She woke up late. Her train had already gone. The next one would take too long. Panic rose in her chest. She dashed to the curb and flagged down the first taxi she saw. Inside the cab sat a quiet, gentle-looking man. Dark jacket, calm eyes. His name was Daniel. "Empire Heights building, fast. I'm late," she snapped as she jumped in. Daniel glanced at the traffic and nodded. "I'll do my best, ma'am." Red lights and slow cars stretched the minutes, and with every second Emma's impatience grew. She checked her watch again and again, breath quick, thinking the interview slipping away. When the taxi finally pulled up, she hurled a crumpled $10 bill onto the seat and stormed out without waiting for change, muttering under her breath. As Emma hurried out of the taxi, the left door caught a corner of her dress, tugging it sharply. "Ugh, damn it," she yelled, jerking the fabric free. Daniel leaned out from the driver's seat, concerned. "Ma'am, please be careful. The door didn't catch it. Your dress got caught when you turned." "Oh, shut up," she snapped. "This junk of a car needs servicing. How do you even drive people around in this trash?" Daniel lowered his eyes, embarrassed but calm. "I'm sorry you feel that way," he said quietly. Emma scoffed. "I'm not paying for this nonsense. You should be paying me for the trouble." She slammed the door hard and walked off, heels tapping angrily on the pavement. Daniel stayed still for a long moment, staring ahead, breathing deeply, swallowing the humiliation. But not a single word of anger left his mouth. As Emma marched toward the building, she continued muttering insults, not knowing this moment would come back to her sooner than she ever imagined. Emma straightened her blazer and smoothed her hair as she entered the sleek, glass-fronted office building. Her heart raced, partly from the run, partly from anticipation. She approached the receptionist. "I'm here for the 8 a.m. interview with the CEO, Mr. Collins," she said, trying to sound confident. The receptionist smiled politely. "He'll see you shortly. Please wait in the conference room." Emma walked toward the room, chest tightening with excitement and nerves. She rehearsed her answers quietly under her breath, reviewing every achievement, every certificate. When the conference room door opened, her world froze. The man standing there was Daniel, the quiet taxi driver she had insulted minutes ago. But he was no longer wearing a simple jacket. A sharp, tailored suit, polished shoes, confident stance. The gentle, humble driver was now a powerful, composed CEO. Emma's stomach sank. She felt the heat rise to her cheeks as reality hit. This was the same man she had mocked and refused to pay. Daniel walked gracefully toward his desk, setting down a sleek leather briefcase. He looked at Emma calmly, a faint smile on his lips. "Good morning, Miss Carter," he said, his voice measured and composed. "I'm Daniel Collins, CEO of Collins Marketing Group." Emma's eyes widened. Her jaw went dry. She whispered, I didn't know. I'm so sorry for earlier. I was stressed." Daniel raised a hand gently to stop her. "No need to explain. Stress does not excuse disrespect," he said kindly. He paused, letting the moment sink in. "I drive a taxi sometimes, not because I have to, but because it keeps me grounded. It reminds me how important humility is." Emma's hands trembled. Her confidence crumbled. She realized the gravity of her mistake, the rudeness that had cost her credibility before she even started. Daniel gestured for Emma to take a seat across from his desk. "Let's continue with the interview," he said, calm but firm. Emma tried to answer each question, but her voice shook, her words stumbling. Every sentence reminded her of the disrespect she had shown moments ago. Every confident answer she had prepared felt heavy with guilt. Daniel listened silently, observing her reactions, her nervousness, her shame. Finally, he closed her file and leaned back in his chair. "Miss Carter, your qualifications are impressive," he said slowly. "But in this company, we value character above all else. How people treat others, especially those they think they'll never see again." Emma lowered her gaze, feeling the weight of her actions. She understood more clearly than ever the cost of arrogance and rudeness. Daniel stood and walked toward the office door, then paused, looking back at Emma with a calm, steady gaze. Emma, he said softly, I won't be hiring you today, but I hope this moment teaches you something far more important than any job could. Emma's lips trembled as tears formed in her eyes. She whispered, I understand. I'm truly sorry. Daniel nodded. Sometimes the lessons life gives us come in the smallest moments. A brief encounter, a word spoken, a choice made. Respect everyone. Whether they are driving a taxi or sitting behind a desk, you never know who they truly are. Emma stood silently, absorbing every word, realizing that the interview and her mistake had become the most valuable lesson of her life. Emma walked out of the office building, her head bowed, tears streaming down her face. The city bustled around her, but she felt as if the world had paused. 2 months later, she wrote a letter to Daniel, not asking for a job, not pleading for forgiveness, but simply to thank him. Thank him for teaching her the most important lesson she would ever learn. Respect is free, but it carries immeasurable weight. A single moment of rudeness can change the way life unfolds. And kindness, even in silence, always leaves a mark. Emma never forgot that day. The day she insulted a taxi driver. And the day she learned that he could have been anyone, even the CEO. Don't forget to like and subscribe.